Today, we're talking about my top 5 tips to help you be successful in an audition. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? Aaron here, helping musicians get better faster through performances, reviews, and educational videos. And today we're talking about auditions and audition anxiety. A lot of people freak out at auditions. There's no other way to get around that, but it's something we have to do. No one really likes doing the auditions. We just feel like we're the best for the job and we can go in there and nail it. But you can understand that just like a job interview, an audition is a way for somebody to tell if you are capable of handling the job. This is just a musical way of kind of demonstrating your abilities. However, no matter if it's a all-state band audition in middle school or trying to get the job of your dreams when you're an adult, it's still always going to be very intimidating. So here are my top 5 tips to get you around those anxieties and help you perform at your best. My first tip seems pretty obvious, but it's so helpful, and that's get a lot of rest. A lot of times you have to audition at a time that you don't normally play on, and you want to be ready to play at that time. A lot of times you have to travel, and that can mess up your sleep schedule too, or sometimes the auditions are just really early. So what I suggest is find out when your audition is going to be as close as you possibly can, and get used to sleeping according to that schedule and being ready for that. And also, I know you're nervous and you want to practice as much as you possibly can and all that kind of stuff, but sleep the days before the audition as well. There's a lot of science out there about how important sleep is, so I cannot stress it enough. If you want to perform at your best, you want to make sure that you are well rested and ready to go for this audition. Tip number 2 is another self-love thing, but make sure you eat before your audition. So if you audition at 8 o'clock, make sure that you wake up early enough that you can get a decent breakfast, but not eat enough that it's also going to weigh you down and make you feel bloated when you're out there and auditioning. So when you go into an audition, just make sure that you've eaten to a comfortable level to make sure that your mind's working the way it needs to and your body's not starving, and that's all it can think about when you're supposed to be concentrating on the task at hand. Tip number 3, if there is any sort of warm-up room, absolutely avoid it. Now, I understand that you can't fully avoid warm-up rooms if you need to warm up there. And if it's just you, that's great. You don't have to worry about it. But a lot of times, especially for like all-state or solo and ensemble type things, they throw you in a cafeteria or a library or an auditorium, and all these people are around you making noise and stressing you out that you don't actually get to focus in on you, and you are the most important thing at that moment. I suggest warming up before you go to the audition location, finding the room that you're supposed to be in, go back to the warm-up room to blow a few notes in a comfortable amount of time, and then just go to the audition room. That way you don't hear anybody else play the audition material or anything else that might intimidate you. You're not sitting around in the nightmare fuel that is almost always those warm-up rooms in Allstate. You're relaxed, you're comfortable, and you're thinking about you and the task at hand. I've even been known to go as far as to put on noise-canceling headphones when I'm standing outside the room when there's another person in the audition room, so I don't even hear them, so that I'm fully focused on me. Number 4, if you get nervous, which almost all of you do, anything with potassium can chemically help you reduce those nerves. So it doesn't hurt to throw in a banana in the morning with your meal. Now, this isn't going to make the nerves go away, but it has been proven to scientifically calm you down a little bit. Now, don't go crazy and think, well, if one banana is going to help me out, then I'm going to eat the whole bundle. No, you're going to get sick. But I add them into my diet about the week before, just eating one a day, and then maybe if it's a later audition, I might have 2 the day of. I don't know if it's a placebo effect or if it actually works, but I do feel a little bit more calm adding that into my diet. And if you don't like bananas, there are all sorts of other forms of potassium out there that you could look and research into. Also, a bonus tip for those of you who get dry mouth when you are nervous like I do, I'll take some water into the room with me. And a lot of times I'll actually make lemon water that's very tart, more lemon than actual water. It doesn't taste good, so that my body's reacting to the sourness and it's trying to fight that, so it's producing a lot of saliva for me. So in between anything that's being called, I'll take a swig of water just to kind of re-lube things up in my mouth and get things ready for the next piece. And I know you're gonna feel like that's taking a lot of time up, but you're allowed to take a breather between the sets, between anything you have to do. You're allowed to take a little bit of a break. Now, don't be in there for a minute before you play anything, but but you do have time. And my fifth and final audition tip is one you're probably gonna hate me for, but it's be ridiculously prepared. Nothing beats time on the instrument. Nothing beats practice. Think about it. The tests you studied for the most are the tests you also felt the most comfortable about going in for. And the tests you were the most nervous about are the ones that you were just not prepared for at all. And auditions work the exact same way. Make sure to do things like the 10 penny trick, where every single time you play the excerpt correctly, you pull a penny over. Every time you play it wrong, you bring a penny back. Anything like that to work on consistency, or even taking as many mock auditions as you can for your band directors, for your friends, for your private lesson teachers, as many run-throughs of the audition as you can possibly do. And don't forget, there are great devices like your phone that can record you so that you can also take auditions for yourself and judge yourself on your own play. But going in there and being ridiculously prepared, nothing's gonna beat that. But yeah, those are some of my tips for helping you be successful in an audition. And if you have any audition tips that I didn't mention in this video, leave them in the comments down below and help everyone out. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you would, please subscribe so we can get these videos directly to you. But as always, my name's Aaron Campbell, reminding you to be happy, but never satisfied.